Please take your seats. Graduates, alumni speakers, parents, friends, supporters, distinguished guests and colleagues, welcome to this very special occasion to mark the graduation of the Harper class of 2021. Let us begin by thanking our wonderful musicians from Senate Brass who are providing an outstanding accompaniment to our proceedings today. Many of you have had long journeys to be with us today, with some travelling from the Far East, other regions of the world, and the different domains of the United Kingdom, to be part of our celebration. Whilst I was not the Vice-Chancellor when you were completing the award we will acknowledge today, it is my great pleasure to be with you and to have the opportunity to lead this extraordinary university. Graduation ceremonies are very special moments in the life of a university community. Whilst today's celebration comes sometime after you received your award, it makes it no less important, as can be seen by the number of people who've returned to campus today. We gather together to acknowledge, reflect on, and celebrate the individual achievement of every single one of our graduating students. The award you have received is the mark of academic achievement and excellence from one of the world's leading specialist agri-food universities. A degree and qualification from Harper Adams University is highly valued. It is intended to be challenging, practically and intellectually. You'll have had highs and lows, and I'll know that there have been occasions where self-doubt may have got the better of you. Today's ceremony acknowledges your determination and your dedication. You overcame your barriers standing in your way, perceived or actual, and demonstrated that you are more than worthy to join our global community of Harper graduates. You deserve all of our congratulations, and we are proud of your exceptional achievements. It probably feels like it's been a while since you first set foot on the campus, and that today marks the end of a long journey. In actual fact, today marks a new beginning. You'll be joining a community of over 25,000 alumni of Harper Adams, and like them, I hope you will get involved in the Alumni Association, the Harper Club, and continue to stay connected to your university and future generations of students. I look forward to seeing you at alumni events and seminars, and when you're ready to return to education to refresh your knowledge, I hope you'll look to your university. We've tried to give you a flavour of just some of the university's work and our ongoing connection with our alumni in the graduation brochure in each of your seats. I hope you'll take it away and digest it, but more importantly, I hope you'll keep it as a souvenir of this special day. Our Chancellor, Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, was delighted to include a message this year. It is wonderful to see so many parents, guardians, family members and friends with us today. You played a critical part in supporting our students during their time at Harper Adams, emotionally, practically, and of course, financially. You've been amazing. And this ceremony is also an occasion to recognise the contribution you have made to the success of our graduates. I know you'll be feeling a mix of emotions: pride, joy, and in many cases tearful or even nervous that your family member might have chosen different shoes to come across the stage in case they trip as they walk to collect their certificate. A Harper Adams degree ceremony is a formal occasion, but it certainly shouldn't be stuffy. So I'd encourage you to express your emotions and joy in any way you like. Feel free to clap, whoop, shed tears, but definitely take photographs. To set the tone, I'd like to invite our graduates to clap their hands, raise their voices, and even stamp their feet or do whatever to acknowledge their thanks for the support and encouragement of their families and supporters, as well as Harper's academic and professional services employees. So over to you, graduates. This year's degree ceremonies have even greater significance. Remarkably, the last time such a ceremony convened in this place was 3 years ago, back in 2019. None of us could have known at that point that COVID-19 would cast its shadow across every aspect of our life and create additional challenges across 3 academic years. Thanks to the resilience and inventiveness of our students and employees, we were able to maintain teaching, research, and our future farm activities throughout the pandemic. Of course, we needed to adapt. We needed to find new ways to work, teach, and maintain a sense of community, which is central to this university. Things didn't always go according to plan, but I believe that everyone who studied during that time gained additional skills and a maturity which makes them even more valuable citizens at work, at home, and in their communities. By working together and supporting each other, everyone remained focused on learning and the acquisition of knowledge, as well as the building of that community. Harper Adams has achieved a huge amount since that last degree ceremony in 2019. I will highlight just a few of them to remind you of the high regard in which this institution is held across the university sector and also the industries with which we partner. We opened the Harper Keel Vet School, a stunning and innovative collaboration which is unique in this country. According to Graduate Outcomes 2021, national figures show that Harper Adams has a higher proportion of UK-based graduates in work or further study than any other university. In the most recent National Student Survey, published only last week, we were ranked 5th of all UK universities for overall student satisfaction of our full-time students. Thanks to the feedback from our own students, the What University Student Choice Awards has awarded us the best university in the country for career prospects every year since 2016, a truly remarkable achievement. In the most recent Times and Sunday Times University Guide, we were top-rated modern university for the 6th successive year. Similarly, the publication of the Complete University Guide placed us 29th in the UK, but again, the top-ranked modern university. Finally, in this year's New Year's Honours, I was delighted to see that my predecessor, Dr. David Llewellyn, was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, for his services to higher education, agriculture, and the rural industries. David served this institution for 23 years, 12 of those as Principal and then Vice-Chancellor, and I'm sure we would want to pass on our congratulations, best wishes and thanks to David for his contribution to Harper Adams over almost a quarter of a century. Often Vice-Chancellors would use their speech to flag and list prizes and awards gained by students and employees. Given the temperature inside and out, you'll be relieved to hear that I'm going to resist that temptation. I know you'll be looking forward to a celebratory drink, or 2, or 3, or 4. Oh no, I'll stop. After the ceremony, and quite simply, there are just too many prizes to list in person. I would simply like to congratulate all of our award and prize winners for their outstanding achievements, especially those joining us today who received a final year or postgraduate prize, and to thank all of the sponsors of those prizes for their generous and inspirational support. One of the most confronting things that can happen in a university is when a student dies during their studies or in the time when they become a member of the alumni community. Their tragic loss is felt by everyone in our community, especially their fellow students, those who taught them and supported them, and of course, particularly their families. Today, we acknowledge Charlie May and Len Eden, both of whom created their own unique, treasured, and indelible places in our university community. I'd like to personally thank Linda and Andy Eden, who I had the privilege to meet for the first time some months ago, and again today, not only for being here, but also for the work that they are doing to promote the well-being of young people in agriculture and to ensure that those young people have access to support. I assure you of the university's commitment as you continue this work. I would also like to recognise Caroline Drummond, holder of an honorary degree, Honorary Fellows Peel Holroyd, Peter Bloxham, and former Principal Tony Harris, and our treasured and much-missed leader in entomology, Professor Simon Leather, all of whom recently passed away following many years of partnership and service to this university. In the year ahead, we will launch a Peace Garden on campus, which we hope will provide a place of reflection to connect everyone we have lost to the lands on which we study, work, and grow. At a time when we must look to the future with confidence and hope, I'm afraid I must reflect on the desperately sad situation in Ukraine and the impact that Russia's war is having on its people, including Ukraine's excellent universities and its critically important agri-food industry, which, as we know, is presenting a new threat to food supply and security around the world, including here in the UK. As I mentioned earlier, a degree from this university is highly valued. As the world grapples with the new challenges presented by the war in Ukraine, the skills, knowledge, and experience of our graduates is even more essential. You could say there's never been a more important time to graduate and be a graduate of Harper Adams University. The graduates in front of me today, I know, will make a vital contribution to the world's ability to achieve food sustainability and net zero emissions in agriculture and food, whilst ensuring the well-being of our animals and tendering our land. We all need to step up. The challenges of the world demand that we step up, and all departments and people in this university are doing so. Through our new School of Sustainable Food and Farming, we'll continue to work with industry to ensure that there is access to the scientific knowledge and practical skills required to modernise and flourish. And through our Future Farm, we will provide a living, working demonstration of modern progressive agriculture, sharing our learning and innovations in the UK and overseas. Only yesterday, we had students and farmers from Malawi, Kenya, and Ghana who'd spent 9 weeks here, learning from farmers not only on this campus, but elsewhere in the country, which they will take back to their own countries and take Harper with them. Finally, I want to reflect on what Thomas Harper Adams did in creating the legacy that established this institution. It is not a museum. It is a place of education and insight. His aim was to ensure that those who came here had the skills to make sure that agriculture and all sectors connected to it and everyone who benefited from it thrived and remained relevant across all times and ages. The skills we teach, the knowledge we extend, they all matter, as do our values and our spirit. We strive for the university to be inclusive to an ever-diverse population of students and employees, and for everyone here to feel like they belong, and for everyone here to feel like they're respected. This is a responsibility on all of us, and it is one that you, as graduates, carry into your many and varied careers. All of these accolades we will celebrate today are richly deserved, but until we can secure a way for all people in our country and in our world to have a sustainable route to high-quality, affordable food, the job of this university is not done. I encourage you, indeed, we need you, to continue to be an advocate and supporter for your university. We need you to strive to become pioneers within your chosen professions. In return, Harper Adams will stand by your side throughout your career. My question to you today is simple. For what will you be known? For your achievements? For your values? For the difference your education enabled you to make? For the people whose lives you changed for the better? The imprint you leave on this world is and should be the accumulation of all of these things. And I hope your time in this university has given you the courage and the attitude to change things you see that are not right or fair, or are not fair, and then to change them, and to change them for good. So let the pride we have in you today be a source of strength, encouragement, and comfort as you move forward. We are here for you, and will always be here with you. However challenging each day, each step you face is, you should never, ever feel alone. So now let me end my address where I started by reiterating once again our congratulations to every one of you and all who cannot be with us today. I wish you all the best of luck in everything you do, wherever you do it. If you can do just one thing, be brilliant. I'm delighted to declare this graduation celebration open. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the awards for our joint program with Beijing University of Agriculture. Bachelor of Science with honors in food quality with retail management, Bai Rui. Cao Yufeng. Chen Yu. Liu Xinyu. Zhang Haoran. Zhao Wanru. Bachelor of Science with honors in International Business Management, Liu Jingyi. Xi Kexin. Zhang Tianze. This concludes the awards for the joint program with Beijing University of Agriculture. Many congratulations. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to announce the awards for the Foundation Science degree in Agriculture. With distinction, Tom Bart. With distinction, Ollie Houseman. Jack Allen. John Holton. Will Howe. Nick Kennard. Charlie Lay. Lewis McKinnon. Mark Matthias. Sam Morgan. Hannah Rees. Thomas Slivick. Toby Smith. Philippa Stewart. Alex Terry. James Thompson. Oh, sorry, we've got George Thomas. Sorry, George. James Thompson. Ollie Walton. James Wigley. Emily Wilson. This group of students have endured the toughest of final years. They are a credit to themselves and this university. Thank you, Foundation Agrics.
Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, it gives me great pleasure to announce the awards of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, Tom Corlett. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture, with First Class Honours, Rachel Cooper. With First Class Honours, Stacey McElmoyle. With First Class Honours, Will Tamblin. And with First Class Honours, Sally Tyler. Maurice Allen. Elsa Amos. Ben Amps. Rosie Andrews. James Berman. Ryan Chaplin. Ben Connor. Alice Cork. George Dinnis. Robert Bob Evans. Good to see you sober, Bob. Toby Eve. Willem Franklin. Ryan Gwillem. Rory Hall. Mikey Hook. Hannah Jenner. Patrick Langmead. Alex Martin. Tom Owen. Matthew Page. Shannon Porter. Will Riddington. I shall ever remember you for the phone call at midnight on my birthday. My wife will never forgive you. Ed Swindlehurst. Emily Taylor. Ella Thackeray. David Tunks. Jack Turnbull. Edward Webb. And Joe Wilshire. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Animal Science with First Class Honours, Melissa Donaldson. With First Class Honours, Alice Freeman. With First Class Honours, Rachel Haynes. With First Class Honours, Bradley Key. And with First Class Honours, Peter Loxdale. Sophie Bell. Emma Church. Kathy Daniels. Owen Davis. Erin Fowler. Elise Johnson. Shane McGill. Claire Mawiney. Sarah Mills. Charlotte Nixon. Hannah Padfield. Rodney Fair. Abby Puddyfoot. Adam Reeder. Megan Rogers. Michael Savage. Lynn Shackshaft. Benita Taylor. Nancy May Thorne. And James White. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Crop Management, with First Class Honours, James Armstrong. With First Class Honours, Poppy Bunting. With First Class Honours, Louise Davey. With First Class Honours, Izzy Eames. With First Class Honours, Holly Hunter. With First Class Honours, Emma Jones. With First Class Honours, Fred Scott. And with First Class Honours, Toby Shuker. Luke Ashmore. Harry Buckley. Matthew Cash. Imogen Christmas. Lewis Hart. Colin Henry. Archie Humphreys. Cudsey Keating. Millie Killam. Tom Mathias. Harry Moffat. And Rory O'Neill. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Farm Business Management, with First Class Honours, Katie Ackland. With First Class Honours, Harry Davis. And with First Class Honours, Lindsay Johnson. Alex Benbow. The one and only Emily Brown. Dervla Cannell. Evie Davis. Joe Footit. Issy Fussell. Chloe Gimson. Andrew Hazelton. Megan Harriet. Ellery Hughes. Ellie McGowan. Emily Mosley. Connor Newby. Henry Parrish. Madron Parry-Jones. Miraine Richards. Ben Savage. Rochelle Suffolk. And Zoe Welsh. Bachelor of Science with honours in Agriculture with Mechanisation, Jason Blake. A late harvest, but a good one. Well done to you all, and all the best for the future. That concludes the awards for agriculture. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to announce the awards for our land and property management programmes. Bachelor of Science with honours in Rural Enterprise and Land Management with first-class honours to Luke Alford. With first-class honours to Rhiannon Chamberlain. With first-class honours to Isabel Chennels. With first-class honours to Isabel Davis. With first-class honours to Grace Gardiner. With first-class honours to Ellie Torrance. William Amos. Amelia Beasley. Gabriella Benyon. Lucy Bland. Charlotte Brown. Jack Birchmore. Joshua Burrows. Nia Bushell. James Butlin. Charlie Clues. Mitch Corney. Sam Donaldson. Marion Edwards. Michaela England. Gethin Evans. Laura Evans. Ewan Evans. Anna Fisher. Thomas Fussy. Lucinda Gent. Tess Gibson. Florence Gilman. Jessie Holman. Jemima Lewis-Jones. Ellie Matheson. Olivia Meredith. Adam Osbaldeston. Megan Proctor. George Pullin. Henry Regnard Butler. Chris Salmon. Charlotte Scott. Juliet Stevens. Louise Taylor. Isabel Thomas. Tom Whiffin. Joanna Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one further award to announce for this degree. At the invitation of the family of Len Eden, the award will be collected by 4 of Len's friends who are graduating here today. So we would like to invite back to the platform Luke Alford, Will Amos, Josh Burrows and Adam Osbaldeston. Ladies and gentlemen, for the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Rural Enterprise and Land Management, Len Eden. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Rural Property Management with First Class Honours, Kate Constable. With First Class Honours, Gareth Williams. With First Class Honours, Hannah Wright. Edward Adams. Daisy Carroll. Amelia Rose Cullen Loftus. Will Griffiths. Lucy Groves. Evangelina Homer. Alexandra Jeffries. Lowry Jones. Will King. Grace Oakey. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Land and Property Management Awards for the class of 2021. Congratulations, and wishing you all every success for the future. Remember, you make what Harper Adams is. Thank you for that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to announce the awards for engineering, Bachelor of Science in Product Support Engineering, William Hopkins. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Product Support Engineering with First Class Honours, Chris Morris. Matt Bryant. Finlay Clark. Mark Sherry. Jack Twigger. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Agricultural Engineering, Rhys Edwards. Archie Gibson. Charles Harvey. Macaulay Huston. Joe McInnes. Colin MacDonald. Tom Mellor. Rodri Solis. Sean Whiteway. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Automotive Engineering Off-Highway with First Class Honours, Jack Humbert. Ben Ashcroft. Will Brown. Joe Foreman. Charlie Joint. Alexander McLean. Toby Phillips. Darren Roberts. Oliver Stanley. James Thorpe. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Mechanical Engineering with First Class Honours, Scott Davis. With First Class Honours, Adam Stephen. Master of Engineering Agricultural Engineering with distinction, Thomas Bowers. With distinction, Robert Brining. With distinction, Yeyan Evans. With distinction, Will Saunders. With distinction, James Shaw. With distinction, Jamie Sturziker. And with distinction, Tom Wellsbury. James Sandercock. Master of Engineering in Automotive Engineering Off-Highway with distinction, Thomas Aston. With distinction, William Mosley. With distinction, Mark Sears. With distinction, James Seymour. Kit Crabtree. Emily Jones. James Tepper. Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering with distinction, Hugh Smith. And Alexander Ogg. And that concludes the awards for engineering. Thank you very much.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the Talk Postgraduate Awards, beginning with the Postgraduate Certificate in Plant Health and Biosecurity to Karen Freeman. To Martin Zalonka. The Postgraduate Diploma in Conservation and Forest Protection to Katarzyna Lee. The Master of Science in Agricultural Sciences and Production Systems with distinction to Abigail Allen. Also at distinction to Lucinda Edwards. Harriet Dart. The Master of Science in Agroecology at distinction to George Pryor Palmer. The Master of Science in Applied Mechatronic Engineering at distinction to William Osmond. Bruce Daniels. The Master of Science in Conservation and Forest Protection at distinction to Mike Robinson. And to Ian Griffiths. The Master of Science in Entomology at distinction to Jennifer Jones. And at distinction to Graham Smith. Sarah Jones. The Master of Science in Forestry Management at distinction to Kay Clark. Also at distinction to Karen Rose. The Master of Science in Integrated Pest Management at distinction to Amy Tonks. The Master of Science in Plant Pathology to Paul Hammond. The Professional Master's Degree in Rural Estate and Land Management at distinction to James Goodman. Also at distinction to Katrina Lally. And at distinction to Joanne Ridley. To Claudia Bowring. To Claire Evans. To Megan Groom. To Sean Marsh. To Laura Mason. To Alex McMenemy. and to Tilly Ward. The Master of Science in International Agribusiness and Food Trade Management at distinction to Megan Joseph. And before I continue, we have one more postgraduate award to announce to one of our members of staff who's around here somewhere, but he's unavailable. And it's the postgraduate certificate in applied science to Terry Pickthall. So he is available. He was behind me. Okay. It also gives me great pleasure to begin the announcements of the higher degrees by research. The first going for a Master of Research in Meat Technology to Stephen Millington. And we have the Master of Research in Urban Agriculture at distinction to Caris Langham. So many congratulations to all the PGC, PGD and postgraduate master's students. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy for his thesis entitled Assessing Rural Sustainable Housing Development in Shropshire and Herefordshire to Colin Fernley.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy for her thesis entitled Dietary Means to Improve Antioxidant Status in Broiler Chicken Flocks to Sarah Louise Woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy to Marcin Zielonka for his thesis entitled The Life History Traits of Two Important Species of Lepidopteran Pest, the Carnation Tortrix and the Light Brown Apple Moth.
So that concludes the presentation of all of our graduates for today. So why don't we just have one big final round of applause for everyone. So we've introduced a new feature into graduation for this year, which is to invite back one of our alumni who are in industry to talk about not only the career that they've got, but also any lessons or any things they want to share with our graduates as they face out into the world. Delighted to welcome agriculture graduate Chris McGarry to speak to you today. Thank you.
Good afternoon and congratulations. It is my honour to stand here before you today at what I know will be a very memorable experience for you all, as it was for me. My name, as Ken has said, is Chris McGarry, and I was sat in the same seats as yourselves some 11 years ago when I graduated with an honours degree in agriculture. I come from Lisburn in Northern Ireland, and whilst I do come from a farming family, I did not have a farm to return home to. So Harper was the start of a journey that has taken me around the world with a poultry breeding company called Aviagen. And I'll speak a bit more about that later. As graduation ceremonies go, today may be a little bit disjointed, given you finished your studies some 12 months ago, and many of you have now started the next chapter, making your way in the world. However, for me, if you start something, you finish it. Graduation is the product of several years of hard work. So well done, and thank you to Harper Adams for recognising the importance of bringing you all back together in what is a very personal celebration of your successes. Graduates, everyone in this room has had a part to play in your achievements, be it those who sit in front of you and have helped pull you, those who sit behind you who have pushed you for many a year, and trust me, will do so for many a year yet, or indeed the lifelong friends you are now sitting amongst. I know I speak for everyone here when I say thank you. Of course, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have a drive within, so well done to each and every one of you. Do not be shy to look for guidance from the people who have helped you reach this day. Life experience is something that only comes with time, and I know I have benefited greatly from listening to others' experiences. It's easy to go down a rabbit warren when all you need to do is pick up the phone and have a chat with someone. As I look across the room, I can only reflect on how I felt when I was in your position some 11 years ago. I had just finished harvest near St Albans, and the graduation ceremony at Harper was a stopping point for me before I started my own journey 3 days later as a management trainee in Edinburgh with a business I had not heard of only 3 months earlier. The company was Avigen and remains the business I am working with today. Harper has set you up well for what lies ahead. Your placement year is one of the things that sets you apart. That's not to say you've been work shy in the past, but in many cases before, if you didn't like a job, you could simply move on. Your placement year will have been a challenge for many reasons, but you stuck it out. I didn't enjoy my first 6 months at Avigen, but I had signed up for a 12-month scheme, and whatever happened, I said I would see the 12 months out. Of course, you will have bad days in whatever job you do. Maybe more so in agriculture, where there's sometimes no getting away from a bad day because you're only ever a few steps away from the farm to the back door of the house. Don't lose focus on your goals, but equally as important, don't fixate on them either. Things change, and you need to be able to adapt to these changes. My team do not have 2 days the same. Working within production means you're responsible for everything. When you arrive on a farm, there's usually an air of suspense. What lies ahead? There are days when you need to be firm and address issues, and there are days when you're the quiet ear for someone who's going through a difficult spell. You can be an accountant, IT support, and a transport manager, all in very quick succession. The phone call, though, that none of us like to take comes from the vet team. Usually it's just a last-minute request to get some export health sampling done. When you get all these jobs done, it is then time to focus on production. So, be adaptable. Challenge yourself to be better every day. You only enter the learning zone when you leave the comfort and the fear zones. Now, Avigen supply broiler breeder hatching eggs and day-old chicks to more than 100 countries worldwide. We are primarily an export business, and the area I am responsible for is the grandparent farming operations. And in the last 12 months, we have exported to 40 countries. In the last 2 years, we have navigated our way through the additional challenges Brexit has thrown at us, which in itself were significant given the number of countries we export to and the transport links into Europe that we were able to utilise freely previously. We have managed to maintain COVID-related absence at a rate that didn't impact on our teams, our birds, or indeed our customers. And then there's the war in Ukraine. As it continues to ravage the lands and the people, the effects are being felt globally. Food security has never been more important. The markets are extremely volatile. Wheat jumped up 17 or 18 pounds a tonne on Friday, and then there was a USDA report released last night, and pretty much all of that heat has come back off. What does the future hold? I sat in on a DEFRA-led presentation at Pig and Poultry at the beginning of May to listen how they were going to steer agriculture as the sector moves away from cap payments. What I took away from that event was everything I expected to. More unanswered questions. The way we farm has changed considerably over the last 20 years. but you will now be at the forefront of this change. We are told by everyone we must become more sustainable. How do we respond? We are always pushing hard to improve animal welfare, increase yields, bring automation and efficiencies to the forefront, and look after the soils that sustain us. Avogen's Ross 308 generates 50% of the carbon footprint it did back in 1970, and we expect that figure to be 15% less than today's figure by 2030. This is achieved by improving the feed efficiency and balanced breeding. We are all committed to evolution. I'm seeing increasingly more farmers who are excellent at communicating using social media to promote agriculture. They're achieving this by showing the realities of working day in and day out on the farm. They're opening themselves up for criticism, both from the general public and also from farmers alike, in what sometimes can be a no-win situation for them. Why do they continue to do it? They have a passion and love for what they're doing, and they want to share this with others. Please support them, or if you think you can do a better job, have a go yourself. As you leave here today, I want to wish you all the very best for the opportunities that lie ahead. And just remember, take some time every now and again and reflect on your successes, where you've come from and where you're going to. But most of all, enjoy the journey and good luck for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. It's not only for the valuable advice you've given, but a real insight into what it feels like to be in industry at the moment and the pressures that are coming not only post-Brexit, lack of clarity from government, and particularly from the war in Ukraine. I call upon Emily Brown, who is a member of your class, but also over the last 12 months has been the president of the Students' Union, to address you today. Thank you.
Today, we finally get the chance to celebrate and close this chapter of our lives, and it's great to see so many of us back here today. I'd like to take a chance to remember those students who sadly aren't here with us today and started with us in our cohort. However, they are here with us today in our hearts and are sharing with us the Harper spirit. I would now like to propose a vote of thanks, firstly to our speaker, Chris McGarry. Secondly, to the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ken Sloan, and the Board of Governors for guiding the development of Harper Adams University and continuously looking at how we can strengthen and take the university into the future. Thirdly, I want to thank all of the lecturers and support staff who have given us the knowledge to succeed and take us out into industry to be the strongest graduates we can be. And a special thank you for keeping our attention during lectures and tutorials when our focus might have been a little hazy after one too many Vegas bombs in Aussies the night before. And finally, I would like to thank parents, guardians, and friends for the encouragement and gentle nudges we've needed when times have got tough and for believing in us when we might have doubted it ourselves. If I could please ask all my fellow graduates to stand and applaud to show your appreciation. Thank you. You may now sit. The Students' Union has organised a final send-off this evening in the barn, starting at 9 p.m. It'd be great to see as many of you there later as possible, and also, if you never had a power gym before, now's your chance, and full send to the end. Reach out and seize the future, and all it has to offer as a Harper graduate. I will leave you with a quote from Winnie the Pooh. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Best wishes to everyone, and thank you.
Thank you. And as Emily leaves the platform, can I put on the record my thanks to Emily Brown and Emily Wallace for their leadership of the Students' Union over the last year. It's been a particularly challenging year as we've come out of COVID and started to adjust. It's my first year working with the Students' Union, and just want to commend you for the work that you've done. So thank you, Emily. So our final speaker this afternoon is Mr. Peter Nixon, who's the Chair of the Board of Governors at Harper Adams University, and I invite him to come and close today's ceremony. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to add my warmest congratulations to all of those that have passed before, to our graduates. Fabulous, well done. We've all been waiting very patiently for this day to come, and I hope that you are all feeling as proud as I am of the celebration we're having of the achievements that we're marking today. I feel sure you'll be able to continue your thirst for knowledge as you move through life, both in your working and in your personal lives. As the Vice-Chancellor has said, please do keep in touch with the university through our alumni and professional development opportunities. There never will be, I suspect, certainly from an historical perspective, a more challenging time that we face in terms of global society and the demands on it. These have been rehearsed by various speakers this afternoon. I would just add, I suspect this weekend we are going to be reminded of the critical need not just to mitigate climate change, in other words, seek to stop emissions to contributing towards it, but very much we're going to have to learn how to adapt to inevitable climate change, which is baked into our system. If we reach net zero globally tomorrow, there are decades of climate change we have to live with. The role that all of the disciplines represented by our graduates today is very significant in terms of how we both deal with the mitigation of climate change, but also learning to live with it in terms of its impact on human health, plant health, and animal health. Society's needs are massive in this respect, and you all have a potentially life-changing opportunity to contribute to addressing those problems. I hope you'll join me in thanking the Vice-Chancellor, the university staff and the Students' Union for all the work they've done to support you during your studies, and I'd like to thank my fellow governors for all that they've done to help contribute with regard to the university's activities to make a practical and valuable contribution to addressing some of the real-world challenges we faced, which I've just described. I like to think that whilst you can take the person out of Harper, you can't take Harper out of the person. So whilst it's right that you should be looking forward today to the future of your careers, it's also right that you should be taking the opportunity to consider how you maintain your relationship with the university, which is here to support you as a family throughout your careers, and in particular the lifelong friends that you will have made here are all part of an invaluable network to help in the future, to enable you to make connections, to put your individual professional specialism in the context of the wider challenges that we all face. Because in life, everything is joined up, and your job is to help understand those connections and to provide solutions to the problems that are addressing them. I am conscious that I am all that stands between you and refreshments. So, I have great pleasure in declaring this ceremony closed, but before doing so, could I ask you to be upstanding for the national anthem, and can we all sing along to it, please? I'm sure you know the words. And can you remain standing whilst the procession departs? And I do hope you enjoy the rest of this celebration long into the evening. Thank you. Thank you.